Hello, Crow's Path. Good to see you after vacation. I wanted to bring you all into gratitude. So, to start off, I'm feeling really grateful for my pet chickens, or I guess they're pets, friend chickens. And I'm feeling really grateful for my friends.
Today I'm feeling grateful for big, tall pine trees, 2 geese that just flew by, and my 2 sisters.
Hey there, everybody. Today I am feeling grateful for garlic.
Hi, Crow's Path. Today I am feeling really grateful that because we're still hanging out together on Zoom, I get a chance to do things like build pirate ships and pretend that I'm a fairy pirate queen, and I get to play and connect to joy and then come together with all of you to talk about it. And I'm really grateful that we're still all connected.
Today, I'm feeling grateful for honeybees and dreams.
So we can take all that gratitude and we can gather it up with our arms, shove it down into a small space if we can, and either put it in our pocket or maybe swallow it, or maybe put it in a twinkle in our eyes, so that when someone sees us, they'll be like, oh, you have kind of like a, like a hop in your step. What's up with you? You would say, oh, it's some gratitude. But anyway, on to our next thing.
I've got a shirt that's really groovy, one I look so groovy in. I don't care if it shrinks in the dryer, that just makes it groovier. I love my shirt, yeah, yeah, I love my shirt, woo woo, I love my shirt. I've got a shirt that's really groovy, one I look so groovy in. I don't care if it shrinks in the dryer, that just makes it groovier. I love my shirt, yeah, yeah, I love my shirt, woo woo, I love my shirt. I've got a shirt that's really groovy, one I look so groovy in. I don't care if it shrinks in the dryer, that just makes it groovier. I love my shirt, yeah, yeah, I love my shirt, woo woo, I love my shirt. I've got a shirt that's really groovy, one I look so groovy in. I don't care if it shrinks in the dryer, that just makes it groovier. I love my shirt, yeah, I love my shirt, woo woo. I love my hat?
The spring is full of sounds, and so is your sit spot. But sometimes we're so distracted by our eyes that we sometimes miss what's going on in our ears. So for today's sit spot challenge, I invite you to go to your sit spot and put on a blindfold, and even close your eyes underneath that blindfold. And in the same way that we sometimes use wide angle vision to see far into our peripheral vision, I want you to use wide angle hearing to listen all around you and see what you hear. If your sit spot is in a tree, perhaps for today's challenge, you can sit at the base of the tree and put on the blindfold. Or climb the tree and then simply close your eyes. Well, I hope you hear something good out there today, and enjoy.
Hi, Crow's Path. Nice to see you on this beautiful sunny day. My guild for this week is, my challenge to you is to choose a character and then spend all day being that character. You can get the clothes that you need to become that character. You can build a special fort outside where your character lives. Do whatever you need to do to really become that character. And then when you see your mom, act like that character, or your dad or your sibling, act like that character. And then you can even still play that character when we meet up together in the afternoon Zoom session. So maybe the character you'll choose to be is a 500-year-old talking turtle.
You have no idea how much I've seen.
Maybe you choose to be a fairy pirate queen. I've come from the shores of Mithril. Maybe you choose to be a person who has a magic pink jump rope that lets you go, oh no, that lets you, I should come over here, go backward or forward in time, a time traveling jump rope. So, whatever you choose to be, really get into character, be that character all day long, and then hopefully in the afternoon we'll get to meet everyone's character and we can talk with each other and share as if we were those characters. I hope that makes sense, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Okay, bye.
Greetings, Crows Pathers. Our guild today is going on a little bit of a safari, a wild edible plant safari in your own backyard. So today we are going to be using our eyes, our noses, and if we get a positive ID on a plant we absolutely know what it is and that it's safe, our mouths, to try to meet some of the plants in our own backyards. Follow me.
Like every good safari adventurer, we have a selection of guidebooks here, and if you don't have any guidebooks on flowers or wild edible plants, you can always go online and look them up on the internet. And if you have someone in your life who really likes wild plants, you can ask them to help you identify some of the things in your yard.
Now, I do believe that we have perhaps found the very first dandelion of the season. This is a pretty big deal. You can see that there is a creature living inside this dandelion, and it's the only dandelion flower I see, so I'm actually not going to pick it, even though I think dandelion flowers taste scrumptious, especially if you dip them in pancake batter and fry them. I'm going to make sure I know it's a dandelion by looking at the leaves that are attached to this plant. So I'm going to go in deep, and I'll pick one leaf, making sure I don't disturb the flower. Aha! Just as I thought. Dandelion, dent de lion, which means tooth of the lion in French. These look pretty toothy to me, don't they? Up next, we have found some garlic mustard. These are growing very abundantly in my garden, so I'm not worried about picking a few. And if I take a leaf, you'll notice they kind of look like a horseshoe. They've got these lovely little ridges on the edges. They like to grow near to the ground, and if you crush them up and smell them, it smells a little bit spicy. And if you take a little bit, nibble it, oh yeah, garlicky and mustardy. I wonder where it got its name. Now, of course, if you have never eaten something like garlic mustard before, or like any of these plants, even if you know 100% that it is what you think it is and it's safe, it's never a good idea to eat more than just a little bit. Something that I think is delicious and makes me feel awesome might make somebody else's tummy hurt. That's just because everybody's got a different body. So it's always a good idea to taste test a little bit, wait a little while, and see how your body likes it. We are really low to the ground right now because we have found some ground ivy. So called because it grows down here and it kind of creeps along like ivy. It also has names like Gill Over the Ground and Creeping Charlie. And you'll notice that it has similar, this is the garlic mustard leaf, and this is the ground ivy leaf. They're similar, but the ground ivy looks really small, and it smells a bit like fresh mown grass, a little bit minty. It's in the mint family. So you can take these, and they make lovely additions to tea. They have these very cute purple flowers. They're lovely in tea, and they're just lovely to look at. And these tend to grow in a lot of people's garden beds around here. Goodness gracious, I think we found some violets. These have lovely little cup-shaped leaves, and as they get older, you'll notice that there will be a bunch of purple flowers that are going to start growing right here. Violets are very sweet and lovely to eat. You can eat the leaves or the flowers, and you can also put the flowers into some hot water and mix it with some honey or sugar to make a syrup. You might also notice, if you have a garden, that you might be planting things called pansies or violas in your garden. Those are kind of related to violets, and those are also edible as well. But if your parents planted them, maybe ask before you go eating all of them. I do believe I have found a plant that actually is not edible, but is a cool one to be finding in your backyard plant safari. You see how this has nice big leaves? It kind of looks like many little leaves all attached to it. This plant is called celandine. It's not one you're going to want to eat. It's bitter and gross, but it does sport this cool yellow sap on the inside. And you can use that sap as like an artist ink. You could draw pictures on your hands using the sap. You could paint the nearest rock by you. You could collect some leaves and use them to make pictures for your family or friends. You could even try writing a letter using only celandine ink. So this is one that just because we can't eat it doesn't mean we can't do some other cool stuff with it. Shh, I've crept up on the yarrow plant. This one is hard to mistake for anything else. It's got these long frondy leaves that kind of look like feathers that you would put on the back of an arrow, which is how I remember the word yarrow, an arrow leaf or an arrowhead. And this one is pretty bitter, but this is one of my favorite plants for boo-boos. You can crush up the leaves and put them right on if you get a little scrape or a little bug bite. This one is the one you want to use. You can mush it up with your hands, or if you're brave, you can give it a couple chews. It doesn't taste that good. And then put it right on your hand. A little poultice. Look at that. All right, friends, I can't wait to find out what you discover on your own backyard plant safari. Remember, you want to make sure you know exactly what the plant is before you put it anywhere near your mouth. And if you have any questions about it, you can always bring it to the next Crow's Path meeting, and maybe we can do an identification. Happy safarying!
I am out here in a place you might recognize. Give you a clue. It's the Meadow Duncan. And you're right, that wasn't a clue, it was just the answer. But you probably already knew that. Anyway, I'm out here thinking about the kindness challenge and thinking about all these plants. So there are a lot of ways that I give kindness to plants. One is when I see like buds that have just sprouted, like on this lilac right here. Or seeds that just sprouted in my little planters or my garden. Sometimes I just say like, hey, welcome, you can do it. And I just give them some encouragement and just kind of talk to them a little bit. Do you ever talk to plants? And if I sit on a nice log or mossy rock, when I get up I say thank you. A step beyond just giving thanks would be asking for permission from the plants when you want to use part of them. If you want to pick a flower for something, or use some bark for something or some branches. asking permission and trying to hear an answer is a great way to show kindness and care for the plants that allow you to do the activities that you want to do and live the kind of life that you want to live. And then even another step aside from asking for permission as a way to show kindness and care for the plants is to ask them what they need. Maybe you're sitting with a certain plant for a while that you like, and just try to listen and see if you hear any communication from that plant. When you've spent time to become familiar with the plants that you interact with and are eating and are using for projects, then that kind of radiates out. So that's, I think, the kindness and sort of peaceful feeling can spread to other people. And you can teach people how to use things like birch bark or cedar to make fires. When you feel connected to all those different species of plants, then you can see how supported you are here, and you kind of like have friends everywhere when you go out in the forest. That's kind of how I feel. So I don't get bored very easily if I'm just at a sit spot or something, because I feel like I'm actually connecting with all these beings that I'm familiar with and that we have a communication. So that's what I challenge you to do this week. Maybe just pick one plant even in your yard and just go sit with it and see if you can communicate with it a bit. And definitely always give thanks.
That's all, folks.